Good morning. Good to see everyone, and special welcome to the ones who are here for the first time. It's always nice to be with the global family, because when I come to this class, I feel I am with the whole world, because you are representing all corners of the world. And it's because of one Baba, that we are all together. I asked Meeraben, what am I supposed to share in the class? She says it's open topic. Is there anyone who has any special thoughts? What should I share? Yes? Yes, please? I can't get you. Of my experiences with Dadis. Oh, Dadiji, okay. Okay. That's a good topic. Anyone else? One is experience with Dadiji and? Seed stage. Seed stage. Okay. Seed stage, subtle regions. Okay. So it's in reality open. Transformation. Shantivan is Madhuban. Just like Gyan Sarovar is Madhuban, Pandav Bhavan is Madhuban, Shantivan is also Madhuban. And even the centers are Madhuban. Each center is model of Madhuban. So that's the consciousness I keep. Well, we are all come to Baba, as we all know. Though in the beginning we are searching for just small things, experience of peace, experience of meditation, learning meditation, or just these days as the programs are stress-free management, how to remain free from stress. Now, these are just small means of bringing us to Baba. That's what I see, I learn. After coming to the center in Bombay, long back, this is 50th year now, It was the year 1959, February 1st, when I went to the center for the first time, and ever since, never missed, not even once. Though I was given to understand that I was to go there only for 1 week. The sister who introduced the knowledge to me, her words I remember, you have to spare 1 hour daily for 1 week, but continuously. If you have break in between, again the week will start. So being scary that I will have to come again for another week, I managed to come for 1 week, but in between the other friends joined and she had to restart many times. So 1 week stretched into 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks she said, I'm going to read you Murli. We forgot about the time, 1 week. So while this was going on, after a couple of months, rather after about 8 months, Brahma Baba visited, or actually came to stay in Bombay for 4 or 5 months. And that was my initial training time, how to serve. While Baba was giving me training, I'm becoming very brief in coming to the point what was asked. It was Diwali time in 59, October or November 59. And Baba invited Dadiji and Didi Manmohini to celebrate Diwali in Bombay. That was the time when Dadiji came from Patna, another big city in Bihar. She was actually stationed there as center in charge. And then she came to Bombay, and because Baba had invited her and Didi Manmohini from Delhi, and he wanted to give them very special treat during Diwali time. And for Brahmins of Om Mandli, and those who came in the beginning, for them the treat was not just the feast of sweets and very nourishing food, but the treat was in a different way, and that was in the form of giving special experience of transforming them in their consciousness into the consciousness of being either in subtle regions or in golden age. Because of Baba's instructions, I had gone away from Baba's place to the town to bring something which Baba wanted to present to Dadi and Didi. And when I returned to Baba's flat in a new building, at very important place in Bombay, Hanging Garden. As I came inside Baba's room, what I saw, Dadi was holding Baba's hands and slowly dancing. But she was in semi-trance at that time. And Didi was also there doing some movement of her hands. To me, it was something very surprising because I didn't know what was going on. So I just came inside Baba's room and stood beside the window, trying to understand what was going on. And after a while, Baba left her hands and took Didi Manmohini's hands. So Dadi was still in the same dancing mood, in same semi-trance experience. And slowly, while doing that, she slowly walked towards me and then held my hands. I was scared. But this was something, through induction, when she held my hands and started moving, I also got slowly and slowly transported into that subtle consciousness, the experience of being on another plane in my consciousness. And my feeling at that time was as if I'm like a little boy of the age of 8 or 9, and Dadi was like my elder sister of the age of 13 or 14. That's how my association with Dadi started. And it was beautiful experience, angelic dance. I didn't dance, but I simply moved my hands. But I felt inside very beautiful, very sweet, and very angelic. So this was the beginning of my association with Dadiji. And then she stayed there for, I think, 1 week. And during that 1 week, she gave classes and personally some guidance, but not much. Afterwards, during my annual holidays, I used to get 2 months holiday from the Indian Navy. I used to come to Baba here at Mount Abu, and then after spending 4 or 5 days or 1 week, Baba would send me to Jaipur for service. And during those days, I remember Dadiji visited Jaipur twice. Twice means once one in 1960 and then 61. And when she would come to Jaipur, again we would meet. And some other time, when Baba would come to Bombay, again we would meet. And I used to get that kind of feeling of having very close relationship with her, but not understanding much, because there were other dadis, very sweet, very friendly, very loving and very caring, I must say. And I want to share with you that it had been my fortune. Being in Bombay, I was able to meet most of the dadis of Om Mandli, those who came to Baba in the beginning, including Yashoda Maiya, we call her Yashoda Mata, Baba's Laukik wife. And it was in the year 1964 when Brother Ramesh had the thought of creating an exhibition And so we got together and started working on that. And in our meetings, we used to think about creating new pictures, exhibition pictures. And it was October 1964 when the first exhibition was to be held. And just before that, Sakar Baba wrote to Dadi Ji and Brother Jagdish Chandra to go to Bombay and spend some time there and help us in preparing some more exhibition pictures. And they both became instrumental in creating 5 new pictures, mainly connected with meditation. The basis of meditation, the benefits of meditation, the method of meditation, the obstacles coming in meditation, and then the result of this Raj Yoga meditation, heaven. And ever since, she came to stay in Bombay in, I think, September 54. And from then on, Baba asked her to stay in Bombay instead of going back to Patna. That was the time when we started working together. And I was able to learn a lot from her, because she had very many qualities which otherwise were not known to me. But when she stayed in Bombay and she started looking after the service there, she became the leading Dadi among all the Dadis in Bombay. And her organizing capacity was wonderful. She started arranging godly service meetings every month. So inviting other Dadis, other senior sisters, and also brothers. So say about 10 of us, we used to get together, discuss new plans of service, and then have nice, sumptuous lunch. There was so much to learn through these meetings, the way Baba brought us together on many levels, on subtle level and on level of arranging new services. Sakar Baba was always very enthusiastic in bringing out some new literature, new pictures to be printed.
पांडव शिव शक्ति सेना की रणभेरी अब फिर बजती है। शिव बाबा के ज्ञान से फिर माया को मार भगाना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, सतयुग में तुमको आना है। शिव पिता को अब याद करो, मुक्ति धाम तुम्हें जाना है। अपने सुकर्मों के बल पर ही सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। सतयुग में अब तुम्हें आना है। धाम में तुम्हें जाना है।
So I was sharing with you when Dadiji was there in Bombay. There was something to note at that time. Sakar Baba had so much love and confidence or faith in Dadi. There were some souls all over India at that time, like Didi Manmohini and Jagdish Bhai in Delhi, Dadi Chandramani in Amritsar, Gange Dadi in Kanpur, Hriday Pushpa Dadi in Bangalore, Dadi Pushpashanta, Dadi Brijendra in Bombay, and Dadi Prakashmani, Shilindra Dadi, Ratanmohini Dadi. They were there in Bombay. Dadi Janki was in Pune. Different, very powerful stars at different places. So, Baba's normal routine would be to write every day to these special souls. After the Murli, the new points, Baba always shared with them. So because of Dadiji's stay in Bombay, we used to receive Baba's letters every day. And because we received letters every day, we had to reply the letters every day. So Dadi would give me a letter which had to be posted at a special place. That was, the train would leave in the evening. So there was a special mailbox in the train. So the late fee paid letter had to be posted there. So communication between Baba and Dadi. Baba had so much confidence in her. Whenever there were some big events taking place, Baba had very high hopes of her. I remember a few things. When the Pope Paul VI visited India in 1964, Baba wrote specially to Dadi. Of course, at that time, by chance, Mama was also there, Mateshwari Saraswati. First, to send a telegram to the Pope. I remember Dadi, myself, Dada Vishwakshor, and Mama, we all sat together in preparing the final script of the telegram, inviting the Pope. Welcome to India, the country where Supreme Father God Shiva reincarnates. You are welcome to claim your right to the double crown deity world sovereignty for 21 lives. So Baba's way of thinking and communicating, but having full faith in Dadi, that she would put it in the right words and everything. And even for printing new literature, new pictures, because Baba had all of you in his consciousness. I remember Baba writing to us, myself and Dadi ji, to put up big hoardings near the airport so that when foreigners land in India, their attention is drawn to the picture of the cycle and the Trimurti. And then they would be interested in knowing the source, and they can claim their godly birthright. Means for any new things, similarly there were some seminars and Baba would record special points to help her to prepare her speech. And there was one big conference, International Women's Conference, held in Bombay near our center. Baba sent one Murli spool, those days it was recorded on spools, asked Dada Vishwaratan to fly from Ahmedabad to Bombay with that spool so that Dadi could listen to the words from the Murli, prepare her speech accordingly, and then present the speech in the International Women's Conference, and which she did, and that was very effective. Then there were many other areas connected with the Yajna service. And for that also, Baba's communication with Dadi was very clear. On organizational level, Dadi's qualities of organizing were tremendous. And this went on until 1968 or 69 January, when she was here for the first time, after coming from Bombay when Baba left the body. Until then, so many events happened. Because after the first exhibition in Bombay, the exhibition was held at many places in India, and Baba would write to her to go to those places like Calcutta, Delhi, Patna, and then Kanpur, even in Punjab and Gujarat. It was like she was the team leader always in organizing big godly service programs. So that was something, and I was there with her because my routine would be, as surrendered brother, though I was staying separately at another place, coming to the morning class and then busy with godly service, coming back to the center to have my lunch, then again going back to my place for rest, and then evening programs. And that used to be at another place. Now, Dadi's communication and caring nature, this was something very special in her. Though she was head of the center, but she was always there, working with everyone as a member of the team. Sometimes I used to get late for my lunch because I had to go to the printing press or to the artists, whatever Baba wanted. And when I came back, it used to be a bit late. Young sisters would be taking rest after lunch. So Dadi would open the door and prepare fresh chapatis for me. So you can see how caring she was. And this happened many times, not just once, many times. And then when she came to stay in Madhuban after Baba's left the body in 1969, first thing is, you all heard how Baba handed over the reins of Yajna to her. And then, after coming here, she wanted to organize the things in her own way. And she invited me to come and stay here. And that was, though I came here, I spent 6 months for setting up the spiritual museum. You might have seen that in the town. That place was selected by Baba himself. Then later on, I had to go back to Bombay to finish all those jobs which were still in the printing press and other places. But then she asked me to come and stay here, because after Sakar Baba left the body, there were 8 Dadis together, the committee, and they all decided that one brother should be here to look after the office. Jagdish Bhai, being very busy in Delhi with his literature work, he couldn't come and stay here. 2 other brothers who were surrendered at that time, one was Om Prakash and Indore, and the other Mahendra Bhai, who is now in Bhopal, he was in Agra at that time. They also had their own places of service. And right from the beginning, when I surrendered in godly service in 1963, Sakar Baba kept me in Bombay, but in such a way that I am not so much occupied that I can't leave. That was Baba's plan. I didn't know this. Because whenever I asked Baba, I wanted to stay here, Baba would say, it's a very small place, the people don't understand your language, what will you do here? And he would send me back to Bombay, because he would say, well, for educated children, godly service in a big way goes on in big cities, not in this small place. But when Dadi invited me to come, I was a bit reluctant. I had Baba's words in my mind. So I came here, I met Bap Dada, Avyakt Bap Dada, and I just shared with Baba that they are asking me to come here. Didi also asked me, Dadi also asked me. So what should I do? So Baba smiled and said, you come and spend 1 month here. see if you can remain busy here. That's how I was pulled from Bombay, but it was on insistence of Dadiji. So after being in Madhuban, you know what happens. First 1 or 2 years I enjoyed as if I am here only for, setting up the office, doing little things, not knowing what is my role. But then Dadi was there all the time, guiding, and it was after 2 years, I remember, when I started thinking about developments in Madhuban. And she was there to guide me. It was something like she had so much confidence in the soul. For anything, she would just call me and tell me. Just like Sakar Baba sending me here and there, similarly, she was doing the same thing. And you can imagine being together for so many years after coming to Madhuban from 1970. 7th May 1970 was my joining date for being here permanently. So we spent nearly 44 years together. And being with her was like being in university all the time, learning something new. A few things which were very clearly noticed by every one of us, I remember. She had that kind of attitude which brought the feeling of belonging to everyone. One didn't need to think much whether Dadi knows me or not, whether she likes me or not, nothing of that sort. And this was Dadi's own concept. Whenever we asked, she would say, everyone is my sister or my brother. And Baba has put me in that seat that I have to take care of everyone. That's why the sisters and brothers, when she traveled all over the world many times, many of you came in contact with her, and you all had such beautiful relationship with her. And that was something which mostly people don't have, They remain very reserved when they are in that seat of being a leader in an organization. But Dadi was such a person who would love to communicate, who would love to entertain, who would love to guide. But at the same time, she retained her own sterling qualities on very high level. Her own routine, was very inspiring. She won't miss her Amrit Vela meditation. She won't miss Murli in the morning. And before going to bed, her love for Murli. She must read the Murli. Even when she wasn't so well, the sisters around her would tell her, Dadi, you are not so well, you need rest. She would look towards them, give them sweet drishti and continue her Murli. So these, some of the things what I could gather, her firm faith in Baba. Whenever someone asked her about anything, especially connected with her personal side, she would always say, it's up to Baba. whatever he wants. Though she was deciding many things for all the centers, zones, and guiding everyone personally, when it came to her own self, she would always seek Baba's guidance. If it was Baba's program, Avyakt program, she would ask personally. If it wasn't that program, she would ask Dadi Gulzar, wherever she was. Ask her to know from Baba, what am I supposed to do? Supposing she was invited by Dadi Janki from London, she would ask Baba first whether she should go or not. So her faith, firm faith in Baba, firm faith in Baba's instrument, special instrument, Gulzar Dadi, and her firm faith in the principles of the institution, what Sakar Baba or Shiv Baba, they had given those principles right from the beginning. She was very firm on that. Whether it was connected with the routine of yajna, whether it was connected with the food of yajna, whether it was connected with the relationships. And we all know that she had that charismatic personality. Wherever she stood up to speak, she would inspire everyone. Such leadership qualities were there. And the last 14 months which I spent with her, that was, you all know. You see, I returned from Russia. Myself and Dr. Pratap, we landed in Delhi, and I got a call from Madhuban that Dadi was going to Bombay for her checkup, and I should proceed from Delhi to Bombay instead of coming to Madhuban. So I did go there, and from then on, it was continuous story of her health, doctors, coming back to Madhuban, going to Ahmedabad, going to Bombay. But throughout these 14 months, my observation was how she was all the time remaining internally connected with Baba. She would close her eyes, we would think she's sleeping, but she wasn't. Partly it was due to her problem, hypothyroid, but partly it was that she had foreseen and she wanted to be completely free from everything. And her power to tolerate things, this is another side. When she was having health problem and she had to be given some injection or anything, normally sensitive people react, whenever an injection is given. The sisters, when I say sisters means the nurse, she would say, Dadi, I'm giving an injection. That's perhaps the normal way that a patient needs to be informed. And then the injection would be given, but she won't react. Only at some time, when it was little too painful, then she would, smile a bit sarcastically. She did go through health problems several times. And by chance, I was around. And she had confidence in the soul. Luckily, being so close to her, there was so much to learn, so much to share. And the last 2 months, her love for Murli was there, so she would first start reading the Murli, 2-3 lines, and then hand over to me. Okay, you read the Murli. By chance, I could read Sindhi language, so I was able to read the Murli she was having, morning, evening, 2 times. We used to sing together her favorite songs from the Murlis. She enjoyed those things. There is something which I put, just in a few words, that Dadi's personality was like what we say, all virtuous, completely viceless. She would tell the doctors, medical doctors, about her, purity. And then her organizing capacity and her qualities of keeping the divine family together. You can imagine leading this institution for 38 years, not a small thing. And that too, I remember when she took the reins in her hands, we had only 125 centers. One was in other countries, it was just one London. Murli used to go there to Sister Jayanti's family, and another one was in Cambodia. Just Murli, copies of Murli's, they were going there. Hardly any other center, no other center outside India, but ever since she took over, how many centers were opened? When she took over, there were 125 centers in India. And now, when she left the body, there were 8,000 centers worldwide. 8,000 is not a small number. There were about 10,000-12,000 sisters and brothers when she took over, and now nearly 1 million. Pakka Brahma Kumaris and Brahma Kumars. Leave aside the other VIPs and IPs and other people who came in contact and who were influenced by her personality. Whether she stood with the political leaders or whether she stood with the religious leaders, she was always spotted as the leading lady. And you all know that she was conferred the degree of doctorate from Udaipur University. But she didn't care for these recognitions. She had that confidence of being Baba's instrument. And one thing which was very inspiring in her, she would always ask, what new service are we organizing? Because each year when we had our annual meeting, she would always come up with something new. There should be something new. There should be something new. And these mega programs, they are her own brainchild. So her enthusiasm, because she wanted to reach each and every corner of the world as per Baba's wishes, that the message must reach everywhere. And one secret which I like to share before I close, she didn't want to leave the body. And if she left the body, she didn't want to be reborn. This was her thought. She used to share, before she became sick, she used to share That once I go back. I won't be born as a baby again in this old world. That's why when she left the body and the bhog was offered for 12 days and then 13th day she had to go in the womb again, Baba had to, I don't know what tricks he played with her. So, I don't know anything about her present place or position or parents, because there are questions many times people ask. I have no answer for that. Baba knows. If he likes, he would reveal. If he doesn't like, he won't reveal. Okay? So this is what I would like to share about Dadiji. There are so many other things, so many stories, but then you require at least 4 or 5 hours. That's not possible. And then, which were the other questions? Subtle regions. Well, subtle regions we all have heard from mythology, from spiritual people and from Baba's wisdom. When you look at the 3 worlds, picture of 3 worlds, there are other regions. But when we are in this corporeal form, it's the reflection in our consciousness, and that reflection makes us feel as if we are transformed into angels. That very much depends on the consciousness we develop through meditation. And for that one needs to become very detached from this grand old world. I don't know how far we are detached. On one side we become detached, on the other side we become attached. Because we want to serve the world. So we are so much attached to it. But then Baba says, become detached and then serve. So those who can do that practice, they can easily experience being in subtle regions, because Baba invites us to be there, to help the world. That's the role we have to play, but it's not so much in experience. It's only when you meditate, you create the consciousness, and you send your light and might to the world, you feel like being an angel at that time. And afterwards, for 20 hours, or maybe for 16 hours, you are totally in this world. So if you want to enjoy that subtle regions, more and more time needs to be spent in silence and meditation. And then there was another question. Seed stage? Experience of seed stage. Let's be in that stage. Seed stage is experience of being the most powerful being in all the qualities, in all the virtues, in essence form. And the result is the consciousness is very powerful, very pure, very bright, very intoxicating. because the mind is totally free from the past. Mind is totally free from the negativity. Mind is totally free from all the physical things, all relations. It's total soul consciousness and God consciousness, nothing else. Just reflect on that. In star form, you are together with Baba. And the star, bright star, think of that. When it's white star, all the 7 colors are there. So all the powers are there. And because of being in that stage, you are so evolved, you won't like to go anywhere else except being together with the Supreme Being. Nothing else can attract your attention. No other interest will be there in your mind. Just being together with the sweetest one, our beloved Supreme Father. And we like to retain that stage as long as we can, because it's very beautiful experience. When you spend quite some time in seed stage, the outcome is you feel real freedom in consciousness, freedom from the past, freedom to act now what you think is best. So try and do that. Om Shanti. That should suffice. Okay? Happy? Now you can clap if you want. So 3 minutes silence. Nice that we have met. And I thank you for asking me to share my experience with Dadiji. Because normally I become very emotional when I talk about her. Thanks to Baba that today I could maintain myself.
सबसे मिलकर रहना, दादी हमारी दादी, दादी ओ प्यार दादी हमारी दादी, दादी